student success. The agencies, the communities, the industry that you lead will not be successful, will not be sustainable if we don't figure out ways in which we can promote success for every person in the talent development pipeline in our district. Our foundation board members, the executive group is here. All of our board members that have come, we appreciate so much your support. We keep dragging our board members into things that they haven't been to before, and they keep coming. So while we're on a roll, we're going to keep inviting you. And then last but not least, certainly, we got some of the most talented faculty, staff, and students at our college have agreed to come and spend 2 days with us. And they've given up like you have. You know, you got two things that create you, your time and your talent. Whether you're a banker, a faculty member, an architect, your time and your talent are the two resources that you have to give. And you've given it to us. And so in this professional learning community, quite frankly, folks, I don't know why we can't figure out what it is we need to do to become this 21st century community college. We want to try to be, in this next 2 days, from the perspective of conference planner, an honest broker in this conversation. Actually, I fundamentally think one of the greatest gifts that community colleges can give to their community is try to always remain an honest broker. So no one ever worries and has to be concerned about something happening that they don't see that's influenced some decision. We have to be honest brokers. And in honesty, I mean making sure we hear your voices in this conversation today and tomorrow. We've got to find a way in this conference for us together to imagine a different William Rainey Harper College, one that strategically connects to you and the institutions that you represent, and provide for us, at the end of the day, a set of directions, I've been saying 4 to 6 or 3 to 5, that will be transformational in their nature with respect to changing some of the current paradigm that exists with respect to how people move through continually across a life cycle in their career of education and training. At the end of the day, if we can do that together, we will in fact create a model that can become a 21st century community college. A little bit about how we want to work, and this is going to be really tough particularly for me and some of my staff and faculty colleagues. For the next sort of 24 hours, we want to talk a little and listen a lot. We have about 100 people in the room. And 40 of you, when you leave tomorrow at noon, will go back to your businesses, your homes, wherever, and another 60 of us will stay for another 24 hours. Over the course of the first 24 hours, I would ask my mates, my college mates, to get very engaged at their table talk conversations with their facilitators, first to listen and next to add. The folks that are here as our guests feel duly authorized to speak your mind. This is not a group of, what's the word for it, violets that sort of shy away, shrinking violets. Not a one of you in the room. So Rick's task to manage the discussion might be tough. But I would ask my colleagues to know that we've got another 24 hours. And while I absolutely want our neighbors and our stakeholders and our thought leaders to hear our opinion, we also want to make darn sure we hear theirs. First part of the conference, we'll be listening a lot. The second part of the conference, my mates and I will be working hard to take that information and move it into some directions that you will both remember. Oh yeah, that didn't come out of anywhere. That we talked about that. That was something that was pretty important to us. And if it really works, that you'll have some investment into. We've tried to pay some attention, and you will find in your conference materials, and I thought I grabbed a copy of it before I came, yeah. We sent you out a lot of information in advance of the conference. Work that began back in the fall with the presidential installation and the white paper that Trig and Andy developed for us, the installation speech I gave, some articles from some of the opinion leaders we're going to hear from today, some national policy information. And we've taken all that and we've tried to at least, from the standpoint of a scoring card, try to see if there's any gravity, if you will, in any of these areas. And so we've developed just a little matrix, and we would invite you to add on to this while you're here. It's been a helpful thing for us to try to catalog our thoughts as we start thinking about how we might prioritize our work. This is something that, at least as a starter, will help us get off with our conversations, particularly 24 hours from now. As I said, our overall goal with the conference is to come out of this event with 4 to 6 strategic directions. Now let me say a little word about strategic. Strategic in the sense that if we have a direction for our college that represents a strategic initiative for our community, if it truly is strategic, it probably won't be able to be done by the college by itself, nor will it be possible for the president to allocate it to a specific department within the college and say, that's your job. That's where a lot of operational work gets done. And frankly, 5 years from now, some of the things that currently we're going to work on as strategic hopefully will become operational, because if they don't, we're not going to be able to sustain them. So I want you to think about strategic in the sense that if you cannot see a way in which whatever group you represent could be a part of that development, then I want you to push back on us and say, well, is that really strategic for the college and our community? That's the level of thinking and direction that we want. We're really trying to provide for ourselves and for you some directions that truly can be transformational. Not so 30,000 square feet that when we get to working on them, we can't tell you what goals that we need to accomplish, how much money it's going to cost, and to give you some time frame. And my pledge to you is once we get those strategic directions and those goals and that time frame, you will be able to go to the website at Harper College any day you want to, bring up the home page, and you're going to see up in the right-hand corner a little tab that says Voluntary Accountability Report. And you will see that plan that you helped create. You will see the time and date that we're in, and you'll see where we are with respect to what we committed to do, good or bad. I mean, some things will make better progress than we expected. Some things will be more difficult. But as people who helped create this plan and the community that we want to support this plan, we want to make sure that publicly we put this plan out in front of you and that you have a way of measuring it. We're in a hurry. Simply said. I was reading an article in the paper yesterday, and it was about a national project analogous to the lunar program that is about trying to create the energy technologies of the future. And the person quoted, and I wish I thought I should write that down and say it exactly this way at the conference tomorrow, or 2 days from now, or 100 years from now, whenever I read it. Because I truly believe what the fellow was thinking about. Whatever we do today, or don't do, we will bear that fruit 10 years from now, and it will be a very different world than the one we started in. Basically, I truly believe, ladies and gentlemen, this is not so much about us. I mean, I look across this room, there's not a person in the room that I don't feel good about your future. But when I look across the landscape of America, and I look across the landscape of our own district, I'm very concerned about where we'll find ourselves 10 years from now, and now is the time. I want us to think like our hair is on fire, that now's the time. If we don't act, if we don't work together as a community to collaborate, to develop the strategic vision and directions for our community, we're not going anywhere, but we won't be the same. And our children's children will never have what we had. So there is urgency attached to this. And everything I read, see, and know that this is our time. And in some ways, and Rick will amplify, it's a shame. It is our time. My father didn't have to deal with this. He went to work with a high school diploma and paid off his houses, and he had, when I think about his debt and my debt, I can't believe it. Different time. Right? So there is urgency attached to this. And you are the people, the only people, that can make a difference. because you're in this room.